Let's rewind to early 2014. We need to understand the sequence of events that led to the crisis we see today. Ukraine is in turmoil. The nation is gripped by uncertainty and simmering discontent. Protests in Kyiv, known as the Maidan Revolution, are gaining momentum. The heart of the capital is now a stage for national expression, have exploded against the government's decision, a decision that sparked outrage and unified a nation in opposition, to back away from an EU agreement. This agreement was seen by many as a path towards a more prosperous and integrated future with Europe. The result? President Yanukovych flees the country. His departure leaves a power vacuum and throws Ukraine into deeper chaos. Now here's where it gets critical. The situation is about to take a sharp turn, with long-lasting consequences. Russia moves fast. The gears of the Russian military machine begin to turn, setting the stage for intervention. Troops, without insignia, appear in Crimea. These mysterious soldiers, often referred to as little green men, quickly seize key strategic locations. By March, there's a controversial referendum, hastily organized and widely disputed by the international community, and suddenly Russia claims Crimea as its own. This annexation marks a significant escalation in the conflict and a violation of international law. The world's watching, and most say it's illegal. Condemnation pours in from across the globe, but the annexation remains a reality. For Ukraine, this isn't just a land grab. It's a national trauma. It's a deep wound that will take generations to heal. But it doesn't stop there. The crisis in Ukraine is far from over. It's about to spread eastward. In eastern Ukraine, pro-Russian separatists declare independent republics, fueled by Russian support and local grievances. In Donetsk and Luhansk, these declarations further destabilize the region and set the stage for armed conflict. Armed clashes erupt. Violence becomes the new normal in eastern Ukraine, shattering the lives of ordinary citizens. What started as street protests spirals into a full-blown conflict. The situation deteriorates rapidly, drawing in more actors and escalating the violence. Russia is accused of backing these separatists with weapons, providing them with the means to wage war against the Ukrainian government. Fighters, even tanks. The presence of advanced weaponry raises serious questions about Russia's involvement. Western governments slap on sanctions hoping to deter Russia and force a de-escalation of the conflict. But fighting drags on year after year. The conflict becomes entrenched with no clear end in sight. Let's talk about the human cost. Beyond the geopolitical implications, there's a devastating human tragedy unfolding. By 2022, the war has claimed over 14,000 lives, a staggering number that represents countless broken families and shattered dreams. Displaced millions, forcing them to flee their homes and seek refuge elsewhere, often with nothing but the clothes on their backs. And left entire cities shattered. Once vibrant communities are reduced to rubble, bearing witness to the destructive power of war. Ceasefires come and go, offering fleeting moments of hope before being inevitably broken. But real peace remains a distant dream. The underlying issues remain unresolved, perpetuating the cycle of violence. And then, February 2022, a date that will forever be etched in the history books. Russia launches a full-scale invasion. The world watches in disbelief as tanks roll across the border, signaling a new and dangerous phase of the conflict. Suddenly, the conflict that began with Crimea explodes into the biggest war in Europe since Windu. The scale of the invasion is unprecedented, threatening the stability of the entire continent. Ukrainian cities are under siege, facing relentless bombardment and leaving civilians trapped in the crossfire. NATO is scrambling, trying to find a way to respond to the crisis without escalating the conflict into a wider war. And the world holds its breath. The future hangs in the balance with the potential for far-reaching consequences. So, why did all this happen? What are the underlying factors that led to this devastating conflict? For Russia, Ukraine edging closer to Europe is a red line. It's seen as a threat to its sphere of influence and national security. For Ukrainians, it's about self-determination, the right to choose their own destiny and align themselves with whomever they please. Choosing their own path, free from outside control. They aspire to a future where they can live in peace and prosperity, without interference from their powerful neighbor. The clash isn't just about borders, it's a conflict rooted in deeply divergent worldviews and historical narratives. It's about identity, history, and the future of Europe. It's a struggle that will shape the continent for decades to come. Today, the war rages on, with no end in sight, leaving a trail of destruction and despair in its wake, shaping global politics, economies, and millions of lives. The repercussions of this conflict are being felt around the world. The roots reach back to 2014, providing crucial context for understanding the current crisis. But the consequences are unfolding right now. We are witnessing history in the making with profound implications for the future. If you're a history buff, you know that understanding the past is essential for navigating the present and shaping the future. Every conflict has layers, and this one, it's rewriting the map. The geopolitical landscape is being redrawn before our very eyes. Want the full story? Stick around, because there's much more to unpack and understand about this complex and evolving situation. Because Ukraine's fight is far from over, the struggle for freedom and self-determination continues, and the world is watching.